On today's show,
Oh, good fish.
Nice fish.
Nice fish.
kids jump in the boat with cops and firefighters. Meet members of Minnesota's first ever Cop House Fish Crew. We share a furry twist on our Walk in the Park series as Minnesota-bound Millie explores her first park. And all aboard for the oohs and ahs. We ride the fall colors train.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill, Millie and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound.
You know, up first, it's time for a fishing adventure alongside kids, cops, and firefighters.
A program with a simple idea that's making a big difference.
On the shore of Lake Pepin, a morning of fishing begins. With this crew.
9 total kids.
Yep, so I'll take 2 kids. Howie can take 2 kids. He's got a firefighter with him. Andy is going to take a cop and 2 kids.
So there'll be 2 firefighters in this boat.
Cops, kids, and firefighters together.
The whole goal of the Cop House was to, create really good relationships with members of the community down there. The entire area was just a very dense, crime-ridden area. Just had a ton of problems in that community. All these kids are from St. Cloud. They all go to either Apollo or Tech, the 2 high schools in the area.
The officers reach out to high schoolers who might not normally get a chance to fish. A summer-long program that kicks off at Lake Pepin and ends later in August with a Boundary Waters trip.
We got 5 boats here today. Each of the boat captains are St. Cloud firefighters who are volunteering their time to come out here.
Like that. Okay, the tip's going to be in the water. So what happens if a fish hits, you'll hear it. Ooh.
Teach them how to fish safely, but then also there's a lot of downtime in fishing, so there's a lot of opportunities to kind of build relationships and then provide mentorship for them along the way.
First fishing lesson, the early bird gets the worm.
We're hoping one of them wants to take a bite.
All right, let me see you. All right, keep it up. Remember, point the pole this way a little bit.
Yeah, it's way out there. Keep cranking.
Oh, good fish.
Nice
That's
fish.
a nice fish.
You ever caught a walleye before?
Oh, first walleye. That's awesome. Now take your thumb, put on this thumb on this cheek, and squeeze.
Okay, keep.
Bro, you're good. You're not going to get bit.
We got a fish on.
Yes.
Where do I put her? He said, where do I put her? Just hold it.
Here. Another nice fish.
Jeez, bro.
Yeah, that might be a little bigger actually.
That thing is huge.
That's a nice fish.
Jeez.
All right, you were giving him crap. Now it's time.
Bring it under there. Yep, under that heel. Yep, right there, yep. And then on the cheek, squeeze him good.
He is a really good kid, 15 years old now, and this is the 2nd year he's going through the programs.
Ooh, Jesus.
So he's taking on more of a leadership role for this new season. So we're really excited to see where it goes.
The Cop House kids learn you can even eat what you catch. A first shore lunch for most.
It's a way to bond with the police more and the firemen because they're our guides today, and then you get together with your friends and have a good time.
This program funded completely through community donations.
It's just word of mouth. People hear about our program and they're like, what can we do to help? Some of these kids come into it and they got kind of a hard home life. Maybe they're not feeling it that day, so they're giving you some attitude. Well, we've had some that start off like that, but then by the end of the program, they are looking, where's help needed? How can I help my partner out? How can I help my friend out? And they're really working together and holding each other up, encouraging words. All of that is just super rewarding.
Dude, that's a huge fish.
So to see his face, reeling it in for the first time, that's just, I mean, that's money. There's nothing better than that.
Coming up next, we take a walk in the park through the eyes of Minnesota-bound Millie.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Coors Light, Ice Castle Fish House and RV, and by White Bear Lake Superstore.
Up next, our very own Minnesota-bound Millie takes a walk in Three Rivers' largest dog park, and she meets a few furry friends along the way.
Ooh, that's a hard one in the middle of a bunch of evergreens. When you bring a ball to the dog park, you have to know that you might not go home with it.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's nice to see a lot of dogs out and people enjoying out, you know, with in the parks with their dogs. Today we are at Carver Park Reserve in Victoria, Minnesota. 3,000 acre park with a 27 acre dog off-leash area. Three Rivers has 9 dog off-leash areas in 9 different parks, totaling 182 acres. The Carver dog off-leash area is 27 acres in size, and it's one of our larger dog off-leash areas. I love when I can get my dog. The more they can socialize, the more they can get out and run, they're so much better behaved. They're just happier animals all the way around. So.
It's awesome. I just like to see the dogs be free and off leash. They don't get a lot of opportunity to do that when we're on our walks at home, so just the freedom to be able to go run around and meet other dogs.
All dogs are allowed here in the parks, from small dogs to large dogs. The only thing we ask is that we have dogs that have to be under control and good demeanors. We have a separate fenced-in area for small or elderly dogs to separate them from the larger dogs. Just for that safety and also just for that comfort level of the owner.
This is actually our first time at the Three Rivers Park Dog Park. Poppy's, our dog, is 6 months old. It's a mini Sheepadoodle. So we thought we'd go into the small fry first. And she did a great job, so now we're over here in the big park checking it out.
Our dog areas are very busy. Matter of fact, growing in popularity, especially during COVID, we had more people getting out with their dogs and exercising themselves and their dogs, that it makes some of them very busy.
There's some people who just go to the entrance and stand there and their dogs do whatever. I like the walk. I like having a dog who will take a walk with me. And she needs the exercise because she is go all the time. She's crying before we even turn to get down the road to get to the park. She expects it every day, and she will jump in the car as soon as I open up the back, and she's ready to go.
all of our dog parks, we have a parking lot with bathrooms, water, and we also have bags for waste so they can pick up. We want to make it convenient for dog owners.
Every day to one of the dog parks, and sometimes twice a day. Like yesterday we went twice a day. Today we'll probably just do one for a couple hours. I've had dogs for many, many years, and I remember the days when there were no dog parks, and I am real grateful that there's lots of dog parks.
Still ahead, a day trip idea to help you get outdoors and into the autumn woods. All aboard up next.
Closed captioning provided by Star Bank.
Up next, a special story about a special fall color tour. No hiking shoes needed for this adventure. All you need is a ticket so you can hop on board. Get in line for an autumn all aboard.
Now boarding! We've been here in Osceola for 30 years. There is a romance and a fascination about vintage passenger trains. It's really fascinating how so many of our passengers, this is the first time they've ever been on a train, and they love the experience.
The rides today are called the Fall Color Tour, and they highlight the beautiful colors that we get here in the upper Midwest.
You're riding in car 1097. This is one of our assigned dining coaches. High speed, 110 miles an hour operating limit. We do a more sedate 25 down the grade here.
It's some of the best scenery in this part of the Midwest. The fall colors along the St. Croix are simply spectacular.
So this is what we've come out here for, is the view of the river valley.
Exactly why tickets on the old Osceola train go so fast.
This is the first year we were able to get tickets for it because it's been sold out ever since. Well, I think trains give people this nostalgic feel that, you know, it's almost like a novelty that takes you back in time.
Girls' Weekend.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, those are the other two. Hi.
The train lazily clinks its way from Osceola, Wisconsin, crossing the St. Croix and meandering along the Minnesota side. 1.5 hours of this.
Nostalgic. Slower pace, slower time.
So these older cars have that air about them, that smell of oil and the weight of history on them. Rumble with kind of the ideas of 100 years past. And I've been on a train, but the kids haven't, so we were like, why not? Why do you love trains, Simon?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Fast.
Because they're fast?
Rachel Hanks rides.
I'm volunteering as a car host. Yeah, that goes up to Dresser and then it heads over to Sault Ste. Marie, giving them information about the train, about the ride. The kids just being able to look at the world going by them. I just hear the kids just having a great time. It's just a lot of people that are talking, the train whistle, the clackety-clack. I love hearing people's conversations about what they're seeing.
Well, we have been wanting to come to have a ride on the train, so we wanted to look at the changing colors.
So next time a fall nip fills the air, Listen for the whistle and remember. All aboard for Osceola's Autumn Ride.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for so many people.
Beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Still ahead, a Minnesota-bound classic adventure alongside one of the biggest names in Minnesota sport.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Midwest Exteriors MN. Slow down, pay attention when driving. And by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Today's Minnesota-bound classic takes Ron Schara back to the year 2001.
The day he hopped in the boat with former Minnesota Wild player Darby Hendrickson.
Let's see here. This looks like a good spot right here. Where there's ice in Minnesota, there's fishing, huh?
What's that guy doing out there?
Well, you betcha then.
Hey, what are you guys doing here? You catching anything?
You know, it's a little slow. Oops, no fishing here, but Darby understands.
We're just getting warmed up here.
If Darby Hendrickson of the Minnesota Wild didn't play on the ice, he'd be fishing on it. Because fishing is another goal Darby seeks.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not on the ice, Darby. I mean, the ice is nice for you. You're just skating on it.
That's right. It's hard to beat today. 63 degrees.
Yeah.
Not a cloud in the sky. Lake Mille Lacs. It's all right.
In Darby's mind, his luck depends on his angels.
There's hockey angels.
Yeah.
And there's fishing angels.
Yeah.
And they work in mysterious ways. And I think the hockey angels, you know, you do the right things, go to the net, shoot the puck. Eventually they reward you.
Yeah.
I think it's the same in fishing. I think there's fishing angels watching over us right now. And
a veteran of the puck wars, Darby's hockey angel brought him back to Minnesota a few seasons ago and back to his boyhood roots.
You know, our off seasons in hockey, guys do have a lot of hobbies. A lot of guys play golf. They love to be on the golf course, be outside. I enjoy that a little bit, but you know what? I'd rather be on a lake. And I golf a little bit, but there's something about setting the hook on a walleye that it beats making a birdie putt.
Your rod's bending over.
Well, I got that light Loomis.
Ah, it's probably a lunker. Ooh, it is a big fish. Hey, you should give up hockey. Get your own TV show.
I remember the first time I ever fished for walleyes, I was probably 10. And I fished on Lake Winnebagosh. I went with my dad and a couple friends of his, and I was hooked.
Oh, I missed him. I missed it. Oh, that was a nice bite. He got me. What do you call that when you come so close?
You hit the pipe.
A year ago, Darby's career hit a low when a puck hit an eye, ending his season.
The eye's getting better. It's not 100% yet, and it's been a slow healing process, but I'm optimistic it'll return to completely normal. It's the hunt of trying to catch a fish. It's the challenge of trying to score a goal, and you get days where you're humbled, but that's what makes the next day great. You can come back and go at it.
But in a fishing boat, Darby's back to full speed.
Good netting.
Oh my goodness, look at the size of that pig. Huh? Do you want to feel it and see what they feel like, huh? Huh?
If Darby's hockey angels are as good as his fishing angels, it's fair to say it'll be a wild season.
There he goes.
Darby is now the assistant coach of the Minnesota Wild.
One of the great guys in the business. He and I actually just sat next to each other in the locker room for the crazy game of hockey.
Oh, very fun, very fun. Well, that about does it for us. We'll see you back here next week.
In the meantime, Millie, what do we always say to people? Don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.